Whew. Oh god. It vibrates a lot.
This pains. This is gonna pain hard.
It's like I didn't ride it that long, but this vibrates a lot. On board the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cafe Racer. Never ridden a bike like this, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen. The mirrors are absolutely impossible. I mean, nothing's visible out of these things. But anyways, so just stand up. Gear shifting. Gear shifting on this motorcycle is not at all. Okay, it was in gear. Clutch setting is off.
Right off the line, the first thing to hit me are the vibrations. I mean, these are not the slight tingling type vibrations that journalists seem to mention in passing comments. These are really nerve-wracking, fatigue-causing frequencies that just refuse to go away, and it doesn't improve one bit in the higher RPMs either. Royal Enfield claims a newly designed chassis. Well, I'm not much impressed by it. The bike is not that agile, and the center of gravity seems high, which was something I wasn't expecting. The bike can be tipped into corners, but it's not that eager. It's very stable on the other hand, but remember, this is stability that comes from the weight, as the motorcycle feels pretty heavy, and not from a lightweight agile chassis like I'm used to. Before going further into the review, let me go a bit into cafe racer history. This was a popular style of motorcycle in 1970s in the United Kingdom. Out of the motorcycle culture grew motorcycle cafes where all bikers would hang out during the evening. Soon they got bored and started racing. And as this racing took serious turn, people started modifying their bikes with clip-on handlebars, long, lean tanks, and took off every unnecessary bit in order to go a little bit faster. Thus the first generation of cafe racers were created. These motorcycles were not slow either. They could easily do the 160 km per hour speed, which was quite a bit of top speed for those days. The bike I'm riding today, however, is not true to that tradition. It's built to look like a cafe racer, but that is about it. The power is just not there. I know some people might argue that this is a 29 bhp bike, but actually you have to consider the power to weight ratio, which is more important to get a real estimate on the power that gets put on the ground. Now, though I don't have a V-box here, mentally I can tell you that the acceleration feels somewhat like a Yamaha R15 or maybe even a tad slower. So despite the 535cc 29 bhp on paper, it just feels as fast as a 150cc 17 bhp bike to me. And this is how it feels, and maybe a real drag race can vindicate me. Before being completely dismissive of the bike, I'll give it one hard go and check out the power one last time to understand it properly.
Properly done. I like that. Obviously, the quick ones are not meant for that. So, anyways, I've got a U-turn. I'm happy I found it. I don't know when I get a U-turn and I got it back. Oh, got one.
Well, I'm not really liking a lot of things about the bike, and one of the things is the vibrations, which is actually not helping me enjoy the motorcycle at all. The owner said that the speedometer on the motorcycle has fallen off thanks to the vibrations. I'm not sure whether that can happen on any motorcycle, but on this one I probably wouldn't doubt it. And one thing's for sure, that I really like the brakes and the grip levels on the bike. The brakes are really good considering it's a much heavier motorcycle than KTM, which I'm used to, and they stop the bike with some authority. But of course, the bike being slow to begin with, the brakes have the task cut out for them. The vibrations are really numbing. I mean, it just can't seem to keep out of my mind, and they increase even more at higher RPM. I mean, how come none of the reviewers mentioned it last year? This is one of the reasons I can't trust the motorcycling media any longer. They're there to sing praises of every motorcycle, but ask them to criticize and they start sugarcoating it. There's no real way to sugarcoat these vibrations. They're real, and for a leaning forward clip-on handlebar position, they feel even more amplified. I can't wait for the ride to get over. And I like riding motorcycles. I've never felt this eager to finish a ride, especially when I'm trying out a new motorcycle. Well, it seems like that I've almost reached. I remember reading reports that Royal Enfield sells only about 200 of these bikes every quarter. In comparison, the Duke 390 sells about 7,000 units every quarter, and even the HD, means Harley Davidson Street 750, manages decent numbers of around 200 every quarter, despite that bike costing more than double of the RE Continental GT. In conclusion, I can say honestly, this bike makes no sense to me. It's not fast enough to be a cafe racer, but the committed riding position and the vibrations make it impossible to be a tourer as well. I know that 90% of the Continental GT owners are existing or past Royal Enfield owners, which is more like a blind religion and not much about buying bikes on their objective qualities. And as for the rest of the 10%, well, the owner of the bike I'm riding actually wanted a Duke 390, but his father bought him this instead. I guess that sums up this short first impression, and I don't think I'll be doing a full review of this bike. Let me know below in the comment section what you think about this motorcycle. If you found this review honest, then share it and give me a thumbs up on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. But don't go away, because I've got something left for you to see.
This is gonna pain hard.
It's like I didn't ride it that long, but this vibrates a lot.
How's the bike?
It vibrates a lot.
Yeah, gets you oxygenated.
This is like burning.
And how's the ABS now?
Never got the chance to test the ABS. Like
ABS?
that is only happens when you are in a very bad.
there's no
But the brakes are
ABS.
very good. Brakes are good.
There's
Bike
no
stable.
ABS.
Oh, there's no ABS.
There's only Sport Demon and Brembo.
Make it out even if this bike has a
Yeah.
ABS or not.
No, no, that doesn't happen unless you absolutely slam hard. Unless you slam it hard, you're not gonna know. But the brakes are good. Brakes are good. Pirelli, I think this has got Brembos.
Yeah, Brembos.
Brakes are good. Brakes and tires also feel good, but the chassis ain't there. It's just not.
Something old school.
Vibration is too much. They should have done something about the vibration. Like
If there's no vibration, how will you feel the it's a bullet?
Royal
Royal
Enfield
Enfield is
it's something.
main
Ride it for 5
Royal
minutes.
Enfield and Harley.
ride it for.
vibrations.
I've ridden Harleys. Harleys don't vibrate like this. Oh my god, not like this. See,
Nafiz bhai, Harleys don't have vibration.
not like this.
Yeah, might be.
It's much more. I'd say about 100% more. And that too, you're leaning on the handlebar. On Harley, you're like this. You can let go of the handlebar slightly, and then you're inside. I'm on this.
रुपया इतना लगाने के बाद और वो बाइक पे बैठ के हिलते रहे अच्छा ये सब में नहीं है 600 सीसी
No, 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 no.